We have played 66 games of this year's NCAA tournament, which means we got one to go. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort. We have been previewing each and every game of this year's tournament thanks to UPS and the UPS Team Performance Index, and we've got ourselves a national championship to talk about. It's Louisville, it's Michigan, it's Monday night. Should be a great game. Joining me now on the phone to discuss this matchup, our college basketball, Mike DeCourcy from Atlanta. And Mike, you watched these two national semifinals tonight, two very interesting ball games. What are your first thoughts on the matchup on Monday?
I think it's a terrific matchup, and it matches basically the best defense we've seen all year in Louisville and the best offense we've seen all year in Michigan. And what more could you ask for than that? What a phenomenal matchup we have with Michigan's terrific talent, Mitch McGary, Trey Burke. You've got Glenn Robinson, the third, and then, of course, Peyton Siva, a four-year starter, basically, Russ Smith, who's become an All-America, and Gorky Zhang, who had a tough night tonight, but has been phenomenal in this tournament up to this point. So I couldn't be more pleased to see two terrific basketball teams on Monday after having seen two terrific basketball games this evening.
Absolutely, and when you look down at the UPS Team Performance Index, it certainly bears out the defense versus offense matchup. Was there anything that, say, Wichita State did that Michigan can use or that Syracuse did that Louisville will be able to use coming into this game on Monday?
Well, I think that it's a little bit different. I think when Syracuse got very physical with their pressure, Michigan didn't handle it well. The circumstance will probably be different because you're talking about Michigan getting desperate, trying to close a gap. But they got physical with their pressure, and Michigan didn't handle it great. And, of course, the officials didn't call a lot in those circumstances. If they don't call a lot in this circumstance, it maybe bothers Michigan a little bit. Michigan wound up turning the ball over 8 times in the second half. That's a lot for them. They averaged 9 on the game. They only had 10 for the night because in the first half they only had 2. So that's what I'm talking about, that physical pressure. Certainly Louisville likes to foul. They like to foul and not have it called. And they've had that advantage in a lot of games. They did not have that in the Wichita game for the most part. I think they got a little bit looser whistle down the stretch. But when we saw that for Syracuse in their desperation start to bump the Wolverines around, they didn't handle it real well at first. And so that would be an advantage that maybe Louisville can use. As far as Michigan attacking Louisville, the nice thing for Michigan now is they've played against the zone defense as recently as Saturday night. After having played very limited possessions against zone in the regular season, now they've seen it. Now it's certainly much different for Louisville when they do zone than it is for Syracuse. In that case, they're a little bit more ball-oriented when it gets in the lane. They like to attack it with the quick hands of Peyton Siva and Russ Smith. They aren't nearly as long along the perimeter, so Trey Burke will have better looks at the rim. Nick Stauskas and Tim Hardaway will have better looks at the rim if Louisville tries to zone them. And Louisville played a lot of pressure man-to-man in the half court against Wichita, and I think they felt a little confident. I think it works for the most part. And so we might see more of that than we do the 2-3 zone on Monday night. I still think Rick Pitino's going to want to sit back and let Stauskas and Hardaway bomb away from the wings. It's too dangerous to do that. They're both great shooters. They were not great tonight, but again, that goes back to the Syracuse length.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was impressed with how Michigan was able to handle it. It seemed like they were making pretty decent decisions out there. Let me ask you for a key for each team, and give me your pick. Who in your gut do you see winning this thing on Monday?
Well, I think the first key for Michigan is I think we need to see Trey Burke play with confident aggression again. He was very smart in the Syracuse game, but he wasn't confident. His shot was not dropping, and so he went away from it, which was very smart. He didn't force. It wasn't, hey, I'm Trey Burke. I got the Wooden Award yesterday. I got the AP Player of the Year trophy the day before that. I got to score 20 for us to win. He did not do that, and there's a lot of credit goes to him. But I think that in order to win this game, they need the Trey Burke that gets 16 points minimum, 7 assists, that is in control of the game. And I expect to see that Trey Burke. For Louisville, I think they have to get Gorky Zhang back active, and he has to do a great job on Mitch McGary, who has been the best player in this tournament and certainly was the best player on Saturday evening for all four teams. He was phenomenal with his passing ability, 6 assists, 12 rebounds, 10 points, including some huge jump shots. He was the player of the night. And Gorgui Dieng is one of the elite defenders in all of college basketball. Great quickness getting around the post, great length, great timing. He's got to bother McGarry. I think we need to see him do it again. And if we do, it's going to make it hard. But I just have a feeling that Michigan's got the weapons to defeat this defense. We saw when Wichita State got open shots, they were able to make them. This is a much, much, much better shooting team than Wichita State is, and they were able to get some open looks. So I think that Michigan will get the shots they need. I think they'll make enough of them to win the game, but I expect a really terrific basketball game on Monday night.
Yeah, it should certainly be interesting. Listen, man, it's been fun doing these with you all tournament long. I can't wait for the game on Monday, and we'll catch up with you later.